Hey guys, this is Asteroids and Earthquakes. Thanks for tuning in to my first tutorial ever. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a default template, or at least show you how I made mine so that you can make your own. Super helpful. I like to open up with everything already set up and I don't have to worry about it. I can just get to writing. So this is how Ableton 9 opens by default, and I mostly always see people working from here, and I think people should know they can make their own. So what I'm going to start with here is doing some key mapping. Over here, you can see this key mapping button. If I click that, it discolors a certain amount of things in Ableton. You can also do Command K. Command K will open this menu up, and you can click anything that lit up, and you can map something from your keyboard to that button. So what I like to do, I'll show you this pretty quickly, is I like to click my metronome turning on and off right here, M, and you can see key M, metronome on and off. I do my stop as S, my record enable R, in and out, I, O for punch out, loop, and that's pretty much all I find that I really use a lot up there. But I can do command, and you can see if you ever forget what they are, you can see in your key mappings there. So that's the first step. My second step is making groups, so I don't have to worry about organization for the most part. What I like to do is I make a couple of audio tracks. I work with drums and audio for the most part. I take about 4 audio tracks. I do Command G for grouping, or you can left click and select group here. Or when something's not out, you can say group tracks. I Command G. I'm going to Command R, rename these drums, and then rename these as I see fit. Kick, snare, hats, percussion. Gonna do that. Gonna highlight these, put these at -6. I can talk about that later in another video perhaps. Just gain staging and just avoiding clipping, hot tracks, whatever. We'll talk about that another time, but I like to open up a session where I am working pretty quietly. So now I have all these tracks. You can see the audio goes to the group, and then the group goes to the master. So you have a nice submix. You can change the level of everything equally just with this. It's great. So I'm going to do the same thing for a couple different sections. So I'm going to highlight these 2 MIDI tracks, Command G, group them, rename bass. Bass 1, bass 2. Gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna bring this down -3, and I'm gonna put in an operator. You can use whatever you use for basses, whether it's massive FMA, whatever you use. The most, I only have my native Ableton stuff right now on this computer, but then I use operator all the time. So I'm going to set these down to -6. My group's -3. Got to do the same thing. Command Shift M 3 times for MIDI. Command G. Command R for renaming. Synths. Synth 1, Synth 2, Synth 3. And again, whatever you use mostly. I use a lot of operator, sampler for weird kind of whatever. That's just me. That's what I like. And if I had my plugins, I'd probably, again, put some other things in there. -6, -3. And then I'm going to close that. Then I have a bunch of audio. This is kind of my miscellaneous category. Maybe there'll be vocals or just random samples, sound design kind of things. And here I'm going to do the same thing, -6, -3. So here you can see already with all these closed, it's nice and neat. You can open up one and you can work on everything just fine. It's great. So that's pretty much that aspect of it. I just kind of go one step further in my default template. If I do Command Option R, you can see the return tracks. I like to have, instead of just a random reverb and a delay, I like to have a short reverb, long reverb, and then a couple different kinds of delays. For a writing process, you can just send any track to it and get results pretty quickly. I know that this reverb's relatively short, but maybe not as short as I would like. It's kind of long. So I just sent my audio to it to test it, but here we go. Just a little room on that. I'm gonna rename that short verb. I'm gonna duplicate that track, Command D. Oh, maybe I can't do that. Command Option T will make a new one. I'm gonna rename this long verb. I'm gonna go into my audio effects, and then pick a reverb. Make sure your return tracks are all the way 100%. I'm gonna make this maybe 3 seconds or something like that. Let's try. Yeah, that's nice. Then a couple different delays. It already has one delay on it. Let's make this faster. Let's see. Something like that. Let's do Command Option T. So let's rename this delay 1. Let's put another simple delay. Maybe it's a little faster. Remember, 100% wet. Let's see. And you could hear the bus in that one too from my window, but don't mind that. Cool. And then Command Option T. And then this is probably maybe even like a ping pong delay. Let's open that filter up a little bit, all the way wet. Let's try this. Cool. Let's turn that off. And let's put these down also -6, so they're not as loud. And you saw that was pretty loud. Whoa. Sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much how I set up my default template. So I'm going to do Command Option R. You can learn what these are as you go, but they come in handy for writing. So I'm going to show you how to save it real quick. Command comma brings up the menu or the preferences, or you can go up here and go into preferences. File folder, under this tab, you have save current set as default. Doing that will make sure that every time you open up Ableton, a new track, a new project, this is how it will show up. So I'm going to hit save. I have a default set right now, which is the same thing, but basically I'm going to save this and then you are good to go. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. This is Asteroids and Earthquakes, and you have a good day. Thank you.